was going on, it kept saying that it was 100 characters, and then it said it was 95, but then it was too long. It's like, it's not 100 characters yet. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm just starting the day here, just waking up. So I do appreciate, well, not just waking up, but about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. I do appreciate your patience if you're seeing this afterwards for this to get moving and grooving. You can skip ahead to get to the content if nothing is happening. And I do have to go do a couple quick things in the kitchen. Very quick things. I'm giving this a chance to kind of build up a little bit. So I came across a bird live that sounded weird, but when I actually verbalize it, and I wondered if it was who, and if it is, yeah, he feels something. Well, not doesn't he wasn't talking about bulls. He was just seeming to be a bit aggressive, but yeah, I don't like. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. But anyway, I wondered if it was him. Right. You know. Well, that's what you thought. Apparently, and maybe he wasn't either. I hope we didn't send him back. I'm sorry. Oh wow, this thing got fast. I mean, I know it's been all night, but that's annoying because I might have to reload the browser. I might not, but okay, you just have to because yeah, basically, um, um, I left that unplugged, almost fully charged overnight. Okay, yeah. Maybe I could have let that be like a, but I don't know how long it would have let it be paused for. So better than rolling and coffee for the sandwich in the bag. Put it all first. Maybe take a second. But yes, I mean, as hard as likely it's sometimes, I mostly want to take a place. But when they ran out, if they moved for the, in the interim, hang out. Yeah. For real, it was one thing's different now, but I don't know why. Just putting colder water from one that's been sitting out all night. Heating up my coffee, and then I'll be available to chat. Oh, one other thing, although I have to wait a bit of time because I left the laptop unplugged overnight and at a fairly high charge and it died, so it's charging up for a moment. The main topic, you know, is basically name a job, any job, or what is your job or dream job. We'll talk about it. After that, um, hopefully there'll be that kind of throughout this. I might do music, but I woke up with a bit of a sore throat and sinuses. Not too bad, but that was the other thing that kept me up. So I've been worried about sinuses. And when I woke up, but I almost went back to sleep. But more so the other day. I mean, I kind of have a bit of a habit routine. But anyway, um, hopefully comments will show up if you put them. Because there's been someone here for a couple minutes and somebody else just came in. I'm just going to grab my coffee, make sure I get my sandwich in his bag. But I was thinking about that the other day. For the longest time, it's been having a peanut butter and marmalade sandwich, and I never thought of how kind of unique that is. It just seems normal. Yeah. Fine, I never eat it, but I don't really think I like marmalade. I mean, it's good to get oranges. It's also a lot of sugar and I don't know. Supposed to be not that cold out today. Maybe it's been a bit colder than the initial forecast, but still not too bad. But the supposed to be um, what do they call it? Snow showers or freezing rain showers? That's something. And please, because I watched a guy on here a little bit this morning, not long after waking up. I think I subbed to him. I liked him. I was curious, although my other trigger, about the green screen behind him. But I also, um, he seemed like the type that could be pretty obnoxious, judgmental, and annoying. But there was something about his rhythm in how he was speaking. There was something about he seemed smart. Uh, Curious to see, kind of like, how Judge Judy has become so popular, curious to see how he reacts to other people. I mean, that's always a curious thing that most of us have, amongst each other. But just, and if I was ever to say something, how he'd react to that. And that, I think, would be the true judge as to whether I would ever want to see, ever be interested in watching him again. But why do I say this? Oh, because I was just about to say that it doesn't make that much sense to me that that it snows and such, snows or even maybe freezing rain when it's not as cold as it otherwise could be in a certain place. Because I guess I don't know, for some reason I mean, we get it in the winter. I guess I associate snow with cold. But it's not like it's not cold, but it's not. And actually, I guess today is below freezing. It's true, but he did make an interesting point, though. Actually, I didn't watch much of it, and this is more about the topic I'm about to put into the comments in just a moment. I'm just coming into my other device to do so. And yeah, he's already up, so that's fine. And we got three of you here, so don't be shy. I hope that comments are showing up if you put them. Right now, I am not seeing any. Um, but he did say something about, and I'm not sure if I'm going to word it exactly right now. He says something about how, if you take basic science and, well, there is so much. So there's so much, to 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 to, to look at, to I guess two or three. Well, what says one now, but um, I must have been curious to go buy that stuff. But it's yeah, I don't know. Like I spend a lot of time on the internet, and I do learn a lot. But I mean, it's partly what you're looking up, but then the internet shows you stuff too. I don't know. It's retention. I don't know. I guess it's how people process information. It's like for me, I think I do better when it's in an interaction, when I can associate it with a conversation I've had with somebody, perhaps. I don't know if I mean, you could say school is kind of like that, but I haven't been in school for a while, where, the teacher is speaking and then you ask a question or answer a question. It's kind of like that. But anyway, but he had said something about how we all walk on water because there's just general precipitation in the air or something like that. And I thought it was an interesting point. Um, Obviously, not what the person meant. They meant like bigger amounts of water, but I thought it was an interesting point. Um, and kind of true, right? Um, I mean, I was going to say you can't argue with it, but then I guess I did just kind of say, well, but this is what the person meant. Now, when I come to this chat on my other device here, or this video rather, the chat is not showing up yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, it's just I don't want to unplug this because I just got it all set up on this slightly flimsy um, prop thingy, and but like I got the video up. Uh, Everything else is displaying normally, but the chat is just a big white area. Like it does not. It's not even loading in a way where it shows that there's nothing there yet. But I do have this. I am doing it on the cell phone, so if you put something, hopefully I'll see it. And yeah, topic. Just adding a bit more of this one water to the other. Okay, there now it's there. So I'm just gonna, because my throat and sinuses are a little bit so-so, but I wanted to do this. I'd be podcasting anyway at some point today, and curious how this might post. And I'm a little stressed about something, but also just happy to chat. Oh, look at that. It's just fine. Okay, so that's kind of the main idea for this podcast. That one. Live stream. Um, yes, I want to go get my coffee. Ooh. And sorry, it's not going to echo usually. It's just that I accidentally still have this open, and I'm trying to scroll to the top, and why is it not doing it? Okay, but I can hit the space bar, and that works. Um, so yeah, there's the topic. Um, definitely one of those kind of viewer-led kind of um, ideas. The only thing that it didn't put, why won't it let me scroll up? Is it because that's open? Why won't it let me close it? There we go. Yes. The only thing it didn't put, and I'll say that that's meant to be. Those who see it, see it. Those who don't, don't. Um, I don't know why it didn't, but that's fine. Oh, I maybe do, actually. But that's fine. Yeah, I related a lot to that guy the other day, though. I really did. Okay, I gotta go get my coffee. I'll be right back. It is bright and early and still dark out and all that, but yeah, he's not one to talk about. Oh, we ordered out. I haven't ordered out in that long, and he ordered out in a great big way in his face. And then becomes a little too overly optimistic that make it bad. But you know what? It's flaky as shit. I think I will make it. I think I will. She's been promising for a while, and she understands, that we support each other's partners and help help each other out as needed. And that's how it should be anyway, right? Um, the only thing I'm not sure about is, so I just gotta go get my coffee. You'll be playing the piano in just a few moments here. I needed to put some muscle rub on my back, but I can't reach it very well. Yeah, I get it, but I'm not feeling it at the moment. I'm just annoyed by something. So. Yes, yes. Oh, I hope you didn't notice. Although, and he's got some food still left, that's good enough. I just had that stuff. Where is it? Okay, so you can see what the topic is, or the main topic I want to focus on. So feel free to weigh in on it. You don't even have to be employed to make suggestions. That's why I guess I said dream job and stuff, right? I could talk about mine, but I feel like I've done that at times in the past, and I need new ideas. Because maybe the ones that I have aren't the ones I should be thinking. Behave.
Are you podcasting?
Yep. Anyway, he's playing piano for work. That's what he always does. Doesn't have a lot of time, but he'll do a little bit. And Lord knows we need the we're in love. More than it goes. Here, go get your own job. Sonny, behave. Something about you can't kind of, but yeah. Sonny has, sorry. I could just sense that you're going to be naughty again, so telling you hush in advance. Oh. The numbers have been pretty good, but they haven't stuck around. I tell you, some people have attention spans. I'm an ant. No wonder they can't meditate. I mean, not that I'm an expert, but you know what? Well, I'm not just about that. So I mean, I don't want to talk about it hugely on here, but let's just say I have a resource. If somebody, you know, even if it's not meditating, just kind of sitting with the sound for a bit and letting it kind of relax you. Um, it was interesting. I was talking to someone the other day that that has one, and she found it really quickly too. That's happened twice actually. Um, yeah, I just thought that was an interesting picture. Oh, now it's reloading. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I don't know why that's interesting to me. Wow, there's a lot of pictures here. Did I not bring my coffee up? That's weird. Why is it not stand? Did you really realize I brought wetland things? We have to wait. Charlie leaves. Shh, please. Thank you. You've had all your needs met. You just got back from a walk. You have food and water. I love you, but seriously, sometimes you're really annoying. Shh. I can't be mad if I do it under mine. Well, I could be, but I better not be. Go. You're being annoying. Although I can't find her under mine for some weird reason. Hmm. That's photographer, podcaster, voice actress. I just don't like that detail, and that part's kind of confusing. Yeah, that's odd. No message even there. Yeah, it seems like it must be spam. Snow and freezing rain or whatever they use in the warm. Are you expecting a ride? Hello?
What?
Are you expecting a ride?
No.
Yes, I'm asking over here. What's that? Ooh, I just put some of that back stuff. I didn't know I still had it in my hands and now it guarded my eyes. It's mostly absorbed though, so I don't think I should be too worried. That'll happen eventually. one side of the page much better than the other. And hopefully, yeah, kind of different, but I definitely like it better. That's really odd. Did I recover because she's flaky? It's possible. I just can't find it. Oh, there she is. I can't. Yeah.
Oh, Sammy. Poor miserable little Sammy.
I hope that we had to actually say it's actually earlier than I thought it was. That way I could just give him a thing and send him out of the way. Maybe she think I put that in the wrong spot and meant cool. Otherwise, I am saying I need to get into her head a little bit and find out what she's thinking. And we need the salesman. She has a cool job. Speaking of cool job, not exactly rich, but she works at a costume rental store, basically. I don't mean to say it was like a certain holiday, but more so for like theater or parties. I'll be right with you. I'm gonna be eating. Well, I'm not gonna be eating all day. But can we do this after dinner? Just because I really want to bring the thing, and I like working on YouTube. And hello, good morning, good day. How are ya? I'm just quickly looking at something. I'm a bit distracted, but you can see the topic idea that I put below. Or either way, there's two over here, I think. Very much annoying. I say it's dark to time, I think. Again, he works with my dream job, but he didn't work well, but what's his face? Who I do kind of miss, the company, and he was a mostly good person, but like some very disturbing things, and that was hard to accept. And I think he was a little rough. So in just a moment, I'll be seeing Lynn out the door, G out the door, to work. The dog, he's still sitting here looking at me. He's like my best viewer right now. He was commenting earlier, but none of them showed up. But I guess I thought I did it nonchalantly. I had a couple other things. He wasn't in the same room, but I came into the room, and I guess he knew I had the rawhide with me, and he, or he knows that if I'm talking to the screen, I mean, although I do talk to myself and have the screen on often, uh, not just when I'm live streaming, but just when I'm just me at home. Um, and he assumes I'm podcasting and that he should be getting, you know, a treat. And he's got some holiday ones that are a little bit different than what he normally would get. So, but he's sitting here nice now. But I want to wait till G leaves, otherwise G won't be able to pick him up and give him a hug before going to work because he'll be too distracted with his thing. So this looks like it's fully charged already. 86. Maybe I just had to hit the thing again a couple times for it to come back on from where it was because I don't think it would have charged from 86 to 86% in 27 minutes, and it was not coming back on. I could be wrong, but I don't think it would. Well, at least I've found one decent so far. I think this is the one you were playing the other day. The big, fast, fancy one I was talking about. That being said, now the other playing. So I'm trying to decide what I might want to do. I don't want. Well, I plugged in fine earlier and then started back up, but what? 70%. I just have to again leave the screen for just a few minutes, but then I'll be here. Uh, um, and yeah, for a while. But try to decide if I should have paneer and cheese with curry. It's my kind of new favorite kind of egg-like dish. I love eggs at the minute though. Oh, I shouldn't have touched that. Okay, here I got you. So come over here, do the thing. And then or muffins and croissants, which I've been eating for a few days. Or both together. I mean, which I guess when I can't decide, it's sometimes a good way to do it. But I don't know if I want to plow through this. But considering what's on my mind heavily right now, no, I need to pick one or the other. And I'm no good at that shit. Don't need to go.
Let's see. Very exciting. Good idea.
Pick up this thing bag, so I had his attention. But Oh, cuteness gives you more. Yeah, just so you know, this is oh, you have your own business to run. Please, no. Thank you. I think he's got what I'm getting at, but he kind of goes to go midway back. He heard me say some things. He didn't get overly worked up about it, but he did kind of, what do you call it? Try and like act in a comforting response sort of way. I really wish he hadn't turned that off, but I think that that light does get hot after a while, and then I wouldn't really be able to. I don't really want this one on, and it's too dark in here. I wish I didn't have light sensitivity sometimes, but I do. Plus, you know, the other part of it too is it's kind of early in the day. But I'm going to turn this on again. Yeah, because it doesn't seem to work with the switch. You actually have to grab lightly the bulb and turn it. Now, oh, I have not given you the thing yet. How could I not, okay? Now, I'm kind of wanting to have something to eat with my coffee. I just prefer that. So, could you hush, please? Thank you. I'm giving you the thing, okay? Now go away. You spoiled and controlling someone lovely dog. Please help me with that. I'm gonna also put the heat down a little bit, I think. He won't like it, but right now I'm just kind of warm. So yeah, before I sat back down, I was hoping to decide what do I want to eat. You know, well, I don't think I'm feeling a muffin because I've been having muffins for a few days now, and I'm not feeling a muffin. I'm not really a huge muffin. But, if I don't feel like something as heavy as what I'm thinking I might have for lunch/brunch, that might be a good time to make that. So, put this away for now. Got that one cheese croissant. It's small, it won't take long. I don't have much of an appetite. It's not that much smaller than the muffin maybe, but and it'll be good. Now, but all the cheese part of me thinks it doesn't really need butter. And cheese is quite oily as well, but I like butter. What could I say? Margarine, butter, margarine. They be wed. And they have a little. They have a child. They come a little oil. Oh, it's still very dark in here, even with that light on. Part of me doesn't mind it, and I would prefer it over the light. So, it's supposed to be kind of cloudy today, so I don't know how much light's going to come through the window, but I think really, okay, no, I'd rather, oh, actually, okay, looked like that was kind of wrapped around the other cord, but it isn't, so, so, if you can't, I mean, if you don't have a job or a dream job, no judgment, but I think we all have a dream job. I'm looking at something for a reason, just as you're here for a reason, and it might inspire some. This is just not interesting being one. Artist? I'm not a painter. I'm not a painter. Musical artist? Sure. That point is supposed to help with my coffee, so let's help with my coffee. Yeah, I need to find out if that starts right in January 1st. But I feel like I kind of know the answer. They probably say it might take a week. I mean, I could go into it, but you know what the biggest space between my teeth than I realized was there, so I kind of want to address that. And probably that was just fold it. I mean, I think all great interest. It's one less thing to have to worry about. But as far as that, you have to replace those every now and then anyway, right? And I am pretty young to have those, and that would be a kind of an awkward thing. Yoga teacher, if I was more flexible and could get into Zen easier, maybe. Um, should I ask what people think about this? Only in the live stream, okay? Because this is a channel that two of us post to in this home, and I would prefer that it only be in the live stream, because yeah, the other person doesn't need to join in on this topic. Um, but basically, I'd kind of rather there be somebody here when I say it. Because I already know. Okay, so basically, have you ever had somebody, if you have, if you have a job or jobs you've had in the past, or just how would you see this kind of thing, that said to you, okay, the person left. What word do I want to use anyway? Like, I can't remember. That's really weird. Because I don't think I found forgiveness with that yet. I don't know why. Yes, 2023, which doesn't feel like it was that long ago. I said how you had said both of our names to her. But that's right. She had a friend going through something and we suggested something. Moved for me, but not for her. Just didn't need money with her. So I'm just getting to a spot in this chat that I kind of, like I say, wouldn't mind talking about here. Um, but it's been quite a while. I didn't think it had been more than a couple of years. Well, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Actually, I didn't think it really been more than a year. I might be scrolling up more than I need to, but he spells great for a while too. Why is it doing this big drop thing? Well, actually, there's not much before then. 2019, but not a whole lot of conversation. Balanced life experience does sound interesting, though. We decided that not host these events. That doesn't even look like to not host. And they felt like it was too much work for two people. Well, then bring on more people. But I understand. I understand the kind of the complications that could come from that when you don't know if you can rely on people and get commitment from them, and you might have to pay them with money or food, you know. Uh, I hadn't realized that she'd said she was always up for future collaborations. And I think that means like this downward in the yoga. People like using one of the groups. So what it means. That's it may not be about me, and I might not be about her, and I feel something maybe. At least I knew it was luckily, but otherwise, that'd be really. But I almost don't want. He's got a new deck here, the reviews, but I almost don't want to bring that back into things because I didn't want to do it here. I know I do the thing I do, and that's he's seen a lot of me doing that, and what we've watched together. But it's not been super often, and um, I don't know. Some people are more. I had a very interesting story from when I was talking to the other day. Actually, said he asked for a sign from his cousin, and if she felt like he should pursue a relationship with a guy, to keep his notebook page on his leg, and if not, to blow it away and it stayed there or something like that. I remember almost hearing it as the opposite of that, but if I think about what I know about it, I think it makes sense to have said it that way, and I think that's how he said it. Um, but yeah, so how's everybody? Okay. Um, yeah, and that was a once or twice thing with people that I was kind of familiar with, and it went pretty good. But it's not the kind of thing that I like some of the other dreams I've had in careers. It's not the kind of thing leading yoga meditation that I would do often or feel is my niche. But that's kind of what I want to talk about. Like, I kind of want to get inspired. This being said, we can do all kinds of jobs, like big question, or not big question, but that question that most of us are asked growing up, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, there's the standard answers, right? But when you get older, whether that changes or not, it's kind of like um, you can want to be a lot of things. How easy is it for you to actually make it happen? That's I guess the question. Um, and like so, I could get all kinds of ideas from you, and I welcome them. But realistically, like going back to school, as much as I miss those days and somewhat would like to, and it might be a not bad idea. And I'm not even thinking because of my age, which isn't super old but isn't super young either. I'm just thinking that it's not. I always managed through school and I got through school, but it's not my preferred. Um, I'm more not that it isn't hands on, but a lot of people would kind of say that it isn't, and I would agree. As far as yeah, it's I don't want to just hear a teacher talking about it. If it's something I want to do, I want to be getting a chance to actually do it. But my yeah, I was in special ed class in grade school, but I was also it was like I don't know if they call it a mixed immersion or whatever. I was also in regular classes, and which was nice because I didn't even though I liked our little special ed group that I had. I also liked be amongst my other classmates, and so I'm still trying to start a person something. Yeah. Okay, and she's seen that, but ignore it. I did send it pretty early, but whatever. I mean, she's got two girls. So some people say that mothers are closer with their sons, it's fathers with their daughters. I don't know if I agree with that, but I bet you a mother of two teenage girls is going to be likely, and they do look mostly pretty good girls, is going to be likely um, pretty close with her daughters, and then go shopping with them and go to the spa and all this and that. And I'm not trying to, make gender assumptions, but I mean, she's not doing it 24/7, but she possibly also works. Actually, I'm a little bit curious. I'll look at that in a minute. Or maybe I'll look at it now. Since that is kind of the theme of this all, it doesn't say. And partner's Eric, I'll look at that later. I think that's the name I remember anyway. But yeah, it's, like science class was pretty good with that. It depended on the teacher in a lot of ways. Uh, and, group work was a bit more like that. Um, I guess that project, you did probably geography, but it was, I don't know, Mr. Hill was just the geography teacher, sorry, human function, everybody's here right now. It was just the geography teacher for the higher grades or not. And then my high school was very much like that. Like I had a cool class where we would, person left or whatever, wash the teacher and other students' cars. Um, I think it was called auto detailing, but then I feel like, well, there was one specifically to engines. He should be a good woman. But there was one that, I guess I did the buffering and stuff too, or whatever. You know, uh, sanding, whatever you call it. I just never did. But it was largely, and you can only imagine, with a bunch of teens, my fellow classmates at the time, um, and buckets of soapy water, especially white shirt. But yeah, and I had a cooking class and a baking class, and life was pretty darn good, man. Um, I took some, well, that was most of it. Photography, dance, you know, um, yeah. But, going back to what I was mentioning a little earlier, uh, you know, to assume that people are going to remember everything they learned in school, if it's not a topic that they are, uh, super into or whatever, they might not retain it. Plus, passage of time, too. But there's a part of me that still wants to be watching that guy. But I think his chat was quite fast. This one hasn't been rolling super long, but and some people I think will try to get him. Oh, hi, Devin. Good to have you here. Really glad to have you here. Missed you the other day. Hope you get to watch some of that later. The music came in not too far into the video because I'd gotten those couple of ideas. I don't know if you watched it, actually. I know that you put a couple comments or whatever, but I'm not too sure how musical I'm feeling at the moment. I just woke up about 30, 45 minutes ago. My throat, my sinuses are a bit sore, so it makes sense to live stream, right? No, but I mean, I figured they'd be kind of a bit sore anyway. Oh, you did? Okay, cool. I'm glad that you liked my vibe in that. So you can see the first comment that I put there. It, don't forget to give it a, oh, thank you. You can see the first comment that I put there is kind of the topic I want to talk about. It's actually very interesting that you tuned in. Uh, and I was looking forward to the moment. Hopefully, you can stay for a little while, like I did the other day. Yeah, this is instead of you doing one, I guess, right? You're like, oh, I already did that. I was up at 5 a.m. Just kidding. But um, uh, I was scrolling through lives bright and early this morning, and there was a lady, and she was talking very passionately. And I understand. One of the comments was quite disturbing, actually, and she had quite a few of them. Like I put one and then it was like 7 or 8 up, like almost instantly. But then the other ones, I put 2 or 3 others that were, things were a bit slower at that particular time. And she really wasn't, but she was worked up because she was a home. Now, when you say you're a caretaker, do you mean you're a caretaker or are you a caretaker? No, do you mean that you work with the elderly or you do janitorial? She worked with elderly. And I know it's not a pleasant thing to think about, but she was talking about how some workers are a little abusive towards them, rough on them. Um, okay. And, like, I don't think I'd want that kind of job as much as you know, I'm a pretty patient person, but I've had my patience tested a lot in life as we got two more people tune in. That's something I was talking with somebody about the other day. Um, and there was a bit of kind of religion kind of in the topic too with that person. But it's kind of like, no, you know, my 30s have in some ways been good, but they've also been kind of hard, and in ways that my 20s weren't. um, and basically, so I've had to be very patient in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's for my loved ones, and I like making sure they're okay. Oh, you have family members that, but you do it like as a job, not like just for your family, right? Anyway, and I just don't know because they are, slower. They are, have hearing difficulties. Okay, cool. And as much as I understand that, as one would, the oldest person I've ever known, I knew her more in her 90s though, lived to be 104 up until recently. One, three. And I mean, I will never. I think I told you about my friend and her mother, in your stream, did I? The friend that had diabetes, but I don't know if I mentioned this other friend. Yeah, so 32 and 104, a few months apart from each other, passed away. Um, anyway, and basically, uh, so yeah, it's something you have to have. There's that funny symbol. Oh no, that's XC. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Oh well, and I use the phrase because it's a common phrase and it does kind of make sense in a lot of situations. But I don't know if you believe in the afterlife. You're pretty open minded, I think, so you might. But it's not that they aren't at peace, but they can certainly be very active, whether it's in signs and symbols or messages. I do feel that and notice that fairly often. Um, in a way, it's kind of a nice thing because it means that even though she's gone from the physical, and that's been really hitting me hard lately, um, and I'm not even sure if I could put it into words why, but I'm glad that I still have the connection in some way, still feel her. Her and my other. I was telling somebody the other day how many loved ones I've had pass away. Hi, Sedona, how are you? Wow, I processed that really fast. I didn't know if I saw your picture first or what. Like I'm kind of at a distance. And anyway, how are you? Yeah, I've had about 25. Don't forget to like Sedona. 25. Well, over the holidays, I listed. Oh, okay. I've been wondering. No. Over the holidays, and last night I was just too distracted, too tired. But because I kind of did read out the names actually. Hi, Juice, and she's a juicer. Is she juicing? Okay. I kind of read out the names wrote out and then read out the names of loved ones that have passed away. For just me, not counting the other person I lived with, there's probably about 25. It's really quite wild. So I mean, I'm in some ways used to it, but of course, in some ways, it never gets easier, and it almost gets harder. You know, you know. But now that's weird. Devin put shame, and I think I understand what you're referring, why you put it. But then you also put, I don't know why people sound so karate like sometimes, Haya. And here I'm only seeing shame, and here I'm only seeing Haya after high juice. Not sure why, but high juice. That's, I was like, yeah, that sounded funny to say. Yeah, it actually did. I remember I did that once. It showed two different things. But anyway. So, but I kind of, what was I talking about before that? Before about my friend? Devin, you'd know because you were here. Sid wasn't. I do also have an advice question for you, or a curious question, and I'm hesitant to ask it, but I kind of want to. But first, see if you can remember what I was speaking about prior to that mention. Oh, right. I think I remember. People who live with it? What is it? Thanks for trying to help, but I'm not sure that clarified it. But I did remember. People that live with H. Yeah. I'm confused. But I'm going to have to watch it on here because they were showing two different things a couple times. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but anyway. So, yes, I was allowed to ask me. Allowed to ask you what? Oh, and you're like, okay, right. Okay, well, first of all, anyway, so yeah, I don't think I could do that job. Plus, you know, they're feeble. I don't think that I'm a pretty gentle person, um, but am I gentle enough to handle an old feeble and also I wouldn't want to, you know, help them in certain situations. It's not me. I'm glad that it is for some people, but unfortunately, yeah, other people are being kind of abusive, and that is bothersome, right? Um, there was one person in the comments that said, "Oh, men over women, power over women," and then there was another one that said something about. I don't know, just talk about abuse once again. But anyway, by the way, Sid, is your son in school now again, or still off until the new year, or is he around you, or what? It looks like it might just be Devin here anyway. So the question is, so I need to take a sip of something. That's cooled off. It's a little bit brighter out, but I don't know if I'm going to do an errand today or not. It's a bit more blue sky than I thought, but and I'd be curious to recommend a few movies and have you get back to me on them too. I think I mentioned them in the podcast the other day. You said you saw, but I would understand if you didn't see all of it. It was kind of long, but hopefully you remember where you left off and can carry on from there. But basically, it's like I didn't take a drink yet. But I didn't open Facebook. Open others. um, so what I was doing just before you tuned in is I was scrolling through a chat that goes back a little further ago than I remembered, and I was trying to see if I don't know. Sometimes too. I was trying to see if um, I'm trying to get the exact wording for a conversation in the past because I didn't remember it. I've been trying to get it out of a rut I've been in for a little while, she said. It's been more than a little while, unfortunately. Uh, basically, what I do remember about it, I don't know how much longer I got, but hopefully a while until things pick up a bit more in here. And it sounds like Sid was having network issues. I mean, she live streams quite a bit, and you know, but that was the other channel. Yeah, I subscribed to you the day I discovered with you. Uh, and Sid likes to say so. She'd say, "How was Windsor today?" but I mean it's a smaller place, so it would. You're right in Windsor. It's a smaller place, so it would make more sense than how is Canada. Well, where are we talking about? I mean, I kind of tell you where I'm at, unless I know something. But no, basically, she. So it sounded like she was struggling with the amount of um, clients that she had, and it was an area I was kind of interested in as well. So I said I could help you and take, basically take, help you by taking some of your clients. I guess when I word it that way, no, but like um, by taking on some of your clients. Let me just see how I got that, how I put that together here. That's such a busy schedule. You definitely need the yoga and such, but must be hard to still the mind. Uh, I think I'm super easy. I have very little recipe, so still working through making it work. Are you right in Windsor? Is it still Devon that we have watching? On a continual basis, looking like I will. Okay, cool. Really glad to have you here. You're the only one here right now. And I think you liked. I thought there was a fourth light, because there was two before you both came in. That I do know. Maybe Sid didn't like. I hope she comes back. Like I say, I talk with her on hers quite often. She's been on mine a bit, but she's having connection issues, it seems like. So, okay, well, it's easy to do since they're close to each other, right? Looks like, so, out of curiosity, what high school did you go to? We're close in age, but I think, and this makes me feel old, I think we figured out the other day that I'm about 10 years older. Um, Riverside. Oh, I don't know much about that one. I know of the town. It's very, very small. Kind of surprised they had their own high school. Has that school been around for a long time, or is it new in the past? Well, this is kind of a long time, 20 something years. Like, I do remember the name of the town. And I don't remember specifically, but I remember a couple. No, but the school? I remember a couple of businesses called Riverside this, I think. But if you haven't gathered, and I don't really. It wouldn't be as interesting, and I kind of don't want to stay here. But I moved away from there quite a while ago. Last time I was there was in 2019. So just before the pandemic. And boy, what a trip that was. Nostalgic for sure. Yeah, I lived in Victoria. I've lived mostly in Essex, actually. Uh, but you know, all of it's close to Windsor. But yeah, Wheels In. Not that that's Windsor or any of those other areas. It was such a fun place to get those tickets from the machines and then get prizes. Oh, then I think you say it is Nacho Trail. It's not your trail, it's mine. Where's the cheese sauce and toppings? Man, I haven't heard of that in ages, man. I know that a lot of the places they were amalgamating. That's something I kind of remember from a few years ago. I bet you we know some people in common. I bet you we do. Like if we're to talk about some of my angels, I don't know what grade school you went to, and because you're a little bit younger, I wonder if you would have ever had Mrs. Kloss Smith as a teacher. She didn't teach. I don't think she taught. I don't know where she taught. She taught at some school in Windsor. That I think she did. I'm trying to think of some other loved ones that you remember. I don't know if this goes back before your time or not. And you know, with the age of the internet, saying something like that is a little silly sometimes because people can learn about all kinds of stuff. But with this, it isn't as much. Um, you know, I know that the Tunnel Barbecue closed not long ago, right? Or at least a few short years ago, in Windsor there. Do you happen to remember the horse carriage drivers that would kind of take people to their hotels and to casinos or just for rides around scenic Windsor, if we want to call it that. And if you're right in Windsor, you probably don't live on a. You do remember, my dad drove one. My dad drove one for 2 or 3 years at least, including in a parade. Um, or you're saying you remember a ton of barbecue or the carriage drivers? Um, yeah, so you probably don't have a farm if you're in Windsor. Uh, New Engelberg is one of the ones. Oh, okay. That's so cool that you remember that. You must have been quite young when you saw that. I will never forget one of my dad's clients. He was a blacksmith, worked with horses, and there was a girl. I don't think she went to my high school. I think she may have. I don't know what high school she went to, but I don't think it was mine. But her family were clients of my. Her parents were clients of my dad, and they aren't together anymore, and he's since passed away. But Gomez was the last name, and he built his my dad's trailer. My dad was in an auto accident when I was quite young with a welding truck, and yeah. But anyway, and um, she messaged me one day. We weren't even already connected, I don't think. And she's like, or we had just connected, and I remembered her name. And she says, "Who is this guy in this photo? He looks really familiar." She says, "Is that your dad?" I says, "Yeah." And she says, and we figured out that she must have been about 4 to 5 when she last saw him. Well, yeah, so I guess she was a little bit younger than me, maybe 8 to 9 at the oldest. It's a really good memory. I mean, but he came to work on the horses, doing the blacksmithing probably once a month or so. I don't know how often that's done, but yeah, yeah. I didn't go on the carriage rides all that often. I mean, that was his work, and like I say, I didn't live right in Windsor. But my brother, for a while, was the one that kind of would take people's payment. Yeah, it is. I actually have the sweater. Carriages to you. I have the sweater just in the other room there. I still don't know where that code is that either Krista or Leanne was asking about. But yeah, I'm sure we have some mutuals. I just can't, I've kind of lost touch with a lot of people, even with social media since I moved there. I was thinking about someone earlier today. I don't know if you know anybody with the last name. I know we're talking about people, but you're the only one here. We're an hour in, whatever. Vickard, Vickard. And the greenhouse company that I was talking about, the neighbors that had the greenhouses I was telling you about were Mastronardis. Uh, well, I was always talking about Collins. I didn't know that. No recollection. Mastronardis, and they had yeah, um, and Roger Lantane is one that passed away. Um, he was in his 50s, or actually maybe even early 70s. Um, I knew the family kind of that operates Cottam. They had something happen to them, and I think they've closed up. And as a semi-vegan, it's I almost talked about this, but Cottam Cold Storage. Um, yeah, yeah. What my memories mostly of Windsor would be, um, well, we went to Silver City quite a bit. Uh, uh, oh man, it's going back so long ago. Oh God, what are your favorite things in Windsor? Maybe I know of them. um, Say I moved from there after high school. And when we went there in 2019, we were mostly in the smaller towns. I think we went to my parents helped create the Learning Disabilities Association. Um, I keep wanting to think of a couple restaurants, but I don't think they're in Windsor. Okay. And if I was a normal boy back then, maybe I would have been into that kind of stuff. I mean, I did have some, which was really kind of odd because I never really liked the sports. I think that was speaking to something that you understand which it's interesting when we think about how, as humans, we can kind of be reactive in certain ways that we grow into more as we get older and don't even really fully realize that we were like that when we were kids. Like when I think of my high school days, it's like, okay, yeah, I was noticing both. I was. I just didn't put a label on it. I didn't quite I was a high schooler. But I'm sure it was before that I was collecting sports cards, and it was the tight white baseball pants. It was mostly baseball, a little bit of basketball, probably some hockey, which I've never been. Anyway, I shouldn't say that, but um, but if those are the kind of cards you're talking about, but yeah, no, I. Anyway, point is, we're both from Windsor. We know that much, but it's interesting for nostalgic purposes. I wish I could remember more from. Oh, really? Really now? I don't. No, but the other person in the house used to quite a lot and has quite a collection of cards, which are probably worth something. And every now and then I'll say, if you're not doing anything with these cards, why don't you try selling them? And funny because I was talking about a gaming place the other day locally, and I see a whole box of them here right now, actually. But they wouldn't mean much to me. I don't know if those are ones he'd want to sell, but I could certainly ask. I could certainly ask because I think he's been somewhat open to it. And my goodness, he also has a bit of an addiction with something else, and it can get quite costly. He does sell them from time to time, but he dropped so much money recently, didn't quite get what he thought he was going to get. I don't know if he's ever gotten from that guy before. Um, but got a lot of stuff he was happy to get, and then said, "So can you send me some of these?" And we figured the guy, because of how much money, which I've never had this much money in my life, uh, you know, uh, G and the GNC had dropped a line of credit apparently, but then we get an email today saying low account $3. I mean, I'm gonna have to use all these coupons. Screw the homeless right now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, basically said we'd like some smaller ones. Um, and he's like, we're not still talking about cards, right? No. But anyway, and instead of saying, yeah, I'll send you a few for free because you just gave me a really good, you know, amount of money, he pretty much says, or sent a chart asking for money. And I don't know the exact communication that was had, but apparently, he tried to elude that, didn't like that. And then they had the other guy asking him too. But I guess he went with the better deal. I don't know. I didn't see a price with the other one, and that one I kind of was able to see some of the messages. So, yeah, I'm quite worried about our finances right now. I get my disability checks. Mostly not visible disabilities, but I mean, on certain days, kind of. Um, Mondays and Fridays. No, just kidding. But no, I mean, it's nothing to joke about. I mean, but also not just that, but like, I've been struggling with mainstream employment, so I have a little bit of self-employment. Those checks are helpful. But at the end of the day, and I got two of mine, and got one he'd been waiting for ages. Don't forget to like if you haven't yet. I think you did though. If basically right on Christmas Eve, which was nice. I didn't even know there was going to be mail that day, but and I'm thankful. I really am thankful, and I don't want to come across that I'm not. But it's not a lot. It's not a lot, man. So yes, maybe we could sell you some. I came in here, and I'm going to pin the comment. Actually, I came in here, and it's fine because I am pretty freestyle, and I'm pretty freestyle. I came in here wanting to talk about. I'm going to pin the comment. I'm going to try to pin it. Oh, I see. Just a moment. Uh, talk about careers, basically. Uh, and but yes, maybe we could sell you some of those cards. Do you have a lot of them? But I'm sure you would always love more, right? So my other question, though, basically, yeah. So I said I could take some. You might remember I was talking about this a moment ago. I said I could be happy to get some of her. I think I'm almost at that spot though. Both had bad experiences at call centers, but kind of easy jobs to get, especially with a lot of our skills are either not learnt yet, but could be. But either way, not on paper, so not really recognized by society. Uh, okay, I'll keep that. You know what? I'm just gonna bring that box down from the. He wanted to look at stuff on this shelf and started organizing it. Okay, here's something to look at. Gee, there's a lot more than I thought there was because there's a book. There's a book. Um, While I'm up, I kind of need to run upstairs very, very briefly. But there's a book next to the box, and there was some stacked on there too. Uh, but I haven't asked the advice question yet, and I kind of really would appreciate it. And if there's anything that you need support on that you're going through in your life, please don't, please don't keep it inside. Any of you, feel free to ask, and I'll do my best. I do have to run upstairs for just under 5 minutes, very, very quickly. So that gives you time to put that. But essentially, she didn't like that I was asking to help her out with her client. Again, that may not have been the wording, which may have been the better wording, honestly. At the top of this here, we have Innistrad. Yeah, this is really good news, like, maybe I could sell some of those to you. Like, they mean nothing to me, personally. But, I'm not too disappointed that we don't live locally and can't play them together because I'm not really into that myself. But, um, if you're able to, I mean, we don't want to put you in a situation, but be able to get like $100 or whatever worth of them, or more if you like. Maybe we could see what we can do. It's amazing how much those things are probably worth, right? Um, but yeah, so there are so many games out there right now, like board games even. Like I know the classics. I haven't really kept up otherwise. Um, I get the sense you can barely handle all of the yoga students you have. Feels awkward. I just feel like I feel. That's a very rude thing to say. You know nothing about me. This is one of G's friends, but my advice is sadly, workers in the elderly care space are way too overloaded, but it's impossible to expect to put anyone outside of that work in that position. In what position? Because we're trained. In what position? My students compliment me all the time. Well, that's great. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, or cool. That's a reminder to appreciate it. And I love my program. I found my calling in life. I've been struggling a little bit, asking for help. I'm a little bit struggling to piece this together. As to, I mean, it's fine, and okay. I appreciate your comment and all you wrote there. I'm just struggling to understand how it fits. um, I'm very passionate about yoga, and I truly love what I do. I'm not trying to be rude. Just life just feels unfair to us. And then there's this clip. No, sorry. What I was trying to say, because I expressed it to Glenn, is you're a very busy person, and it just seems like, I don't know, 30 seconds. Kind of empty in a lot of ways, and I guess what I was 2022 still kind of ask is, you know, if you're struggling to keep up with life and your teaching, if maybe you could, um, what would be the word? Refer some of your students to me is what I didn't say that you aren't good at what you do or anything like that. So, and that's good. That's good. I'm trying to do the same. It's all about perspective. It's if that's how you see life, then life will be like that for you. No, that's how life is. I'd rather see it differently, in some ways. I like to see the cup as half full rather than half empty. Either way, it's still half. But yes. Just a moment, please. Getting a little congested. The sinus is not bad, but if it stays this bright out, I might go out later. I need to see the hourly forecast. Oh yeah, what are you up to today? And what did you mean by yeah? Asking for help about what? Yeah. So was I in the wrong to say that to that lady that I was just showing? And it has been nice hanging out for sure. Um, how's the weather there, by the way? Sorry, that was three questions there all at once. Or was it three and a half? uh, okay, good. Yeah, I rarely am, and if I am, I usually try and fix it pretty fast. you know, weather is all right. Okay, yeah, here it's like, no, it said -8. It's actually -11, but feels more like -20. um, let me just quickly check something over here for a moment. Yeah, so what have you got on for today? What are you doing about Windsor today? Wow, what you're comfortable saying. I'm just curious. Holy smokers. Like, I'm not right in Edmonton. Not far from it, but not right in it. And they're at +3 today. Feeling like -5. They're also getting freezing rain, snow showers. When do ours come in? Going by this, they don't. They don't come in till tomorrow. They were supposed to be here today. Likelihood of precipitation? None. Trying to remember when I looked. Handling your cats and elders. You work with cats as well? Okay. Old ones too? Did I tell you that my mother and my step have a 20-year-old dog? That's not the oldest dog ever. I may know someone who had the oldest dog ever. Older than I think what they were telling me they'd found. Uh, well, you have a good day with that, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I feel like I was what you did what you could, and certainly it made, you were the most active chatter while you were here, so I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, I don't know when I looked, but And if I get out before 11, it's not that windy. It goes from 20 to 30 to 50. Probably good to get some fresh air. I might just do that, you know. This is my laptop now. It's deep in the tabs anyway. I might just do that. But yes, if anybody else wants to say what they do for work or what their dream job would be, or a song request, I'd love to hear. But yeah, I might just do that. Like I say, if I'm going that way, I have to pass by those two spots anyway, which then I can just say, okay, good, it's done. Um, I don't want to call G this early and ask about them guards. I kind of do, but he's only just gotten to work less than half an hour ago. I'm sure that we have some, and actually we have a whole bunch more in the attic. I'm sure that we have some that we could sell. So I feel pretty good about that. You know, giving this card to them, I won't really be going in the direction of the bank. Again, I'm pretty sure it's not empty, but there might only be $10 on it, which, you know, is a meal. I'd like to give them a bit more than that. We got one pack of McDonald's. I'm likely not to use them. I did take the one out, uh, but otherwise, you know, and I can go through the drive-through when I'm with somebody with a vehicle. I otherwise, you know, probably wouldn't. I almost didn't want to show that this one was ripped out because I didn't want them to get mad about that. But I mean, I'm still giving them a good amount of coupons. I think I can have one for myself, you know. And no, it's not perfect, but they're used to that in life. And I don't mean for that to come across a certain way, but they kind of are when they're homeless, you know. And then all three of you laugh. But are they not? Oh, two of you are back or here. Are they not though? I mean, you know, life isn't exactly going the way you want it to if you're homeless, right? And often when you're not too. So I mean, you know. So I could give that and that, get rid of that. I don't think I want to give them all to the same person. That's quite generous, all to one person, unless I really like him. See, I wasn't sure I wanted to have a conversation with them, and the only reason is because I don't want. I don't know how. This is kind of the case anyway, I guess, but I don't know how. It would be uncomfortable a little bit, and they might have. Uh, they may or may not be aggressive, you know. Uh, but I would hope that they would see this as a nice thing I'm doing, you know, because that's what I'm trying to do. Um, Plus, I have them, and I'm not going to use them. I don't have that many clothes these days. I mean, not like in my 20s. But yeah, so basically, um, I mean, I guess some might be better off than others because they might be. They they may just love the home, but they do have they do have a little bit of money that they're getting, and they're trying to save up, or they're trying to get back on their feet. And others are a bit more into the struggle, and you know, or struggles, and you know, or have kind of gotten to accept how things are for them, and you know, like the freedom of wandering around out and about. I don't know. I mean, everybody's got different perspectives, right? But anyway, I don't think I'd give all of these to the same person. That's what I'm really saying. Um, I feel a little bit better about our situation. Uh, you know, knowing that you and that some other people might be stuff. But yeah, so uh, and I don't want to necessarily talk too much in depth with them either because I'm a little bit worried that I might relate or worry that that similar might happen to me. You know, someone was saying the phrase the other day, we're all a paycheck, we could essentially, and it's a little bit of an exaggeration maybe, but we could all be a paycheck away from homelessness. I mean, most of us are probably stable enough not to need to worry about that in the present. But I mean, seriously. So, I mean, it's, Never gone guys. Come on, guys. But you know, it. Did I ask him the other day if he'd be open to being a moderator? I kind of want to make him one, but I kind of feel like I should ask first. But yeah, so like they say it's cloudy out, but the sky's kind of blue. Like I could live with that. And I haven't really been anywhere since Christmas Day, which is already 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 6, almost a week ago. Already a week ago. My goodness, where did the days go? Good, because once we get to the first, I'm messaging Elizabeth, so there you have it. Um, but if I was to use any, and what is good is if there is more than one of them together, okay, then I'm giving to both of them. I mean, I could just give one packet for them to share, but I kind of, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I don't drive. I may or may not do it by bike, but if I'm going into a place, I probably couldn't. Um, or I'd want to call ahead and ask if I could, maybe. But this is a bit bigger because it's very other. Um, and somewhat because of the holidays, and I guess it's going to be for New Year's for them. But also, yeah, you have to consider the weather. It's something that I want to do myself, and since I don't drive, I have to consider the weather. So, I just said that, right? So, I used to drink McDonald's coffee. Well, no, I'm more likely to go to England, which I think they have lots of places there too. Yeah. Um, um, but somebody was saying the other day they don't like chicken unless it's crispy fried chicken, and that's sort of me as well. See, I'm not really going in that direction. Oh, and also he'd have to be with me. Oh no, unless I'm using the car. But did I buy my wallet? Because I know. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, and if I get that, then I can do that. Otherwise, I can't. But I think I'm going to go in the other direction today. So yeah, so if I do that before 11, because I'm not going in 50, guessing 50 wins. I'll tell you that much right now. Isn't it cute? I'm sure that somebody watching will have gone to A&W before. At the moment, there's just the one that just came in, but there has been others. And you just left, so I'll wait. Frosted glasses are kind of cool. As long as you don't have to put them on your eyes. It's weird for a non-teen burger, but I'm sure they do it all the time. I don't really eat beef burgers anymore. There's a small part of me that's craving it, but I think there's a bigger part of me that's not. And the vegans will like beef. Yes! Score! Well, that's not bad. I don't know what they are usually. Price plus tax. The wording to me is not super specific with that. Does that is that saying that's the price plus tax or the tax? That's the price. Add the tax. Bad wording. But what is it usually? I'm curious actually. Yeah, and then it'll be 2 different weeks, and that's good because I might even be 2 weeks in between. Because yeah. Um, but yeah, so I mean, as much as I don't want to hold on to these for too long, I don't know if I really want to give them away all at once. And I very well am thinking I might keep some myself as well. Um, I'm just looking. Does anybody watching go to A&W? Okay, you left. I would think they're a chain and their prices should be the same pretty much everywhere. Like, I don't use DoorDash, but just out of pure curiosity. Why am I only seeing breakfast stuff? Huh. That's interesting. That's interesting what's just coming to mind. Where's that phone? But what I'm thinking of getting is more of a lunch thing. And if I'm going to do the other thing and actually, get well, I could meet her there. I could meet her there. So I'm just kind of planning out my day a little bit. But happy to chat as well. And maybe do music. Um, yeah, does anybody watching go to A&W at all? Either way, that's not a bad price. I'll just say I had a draft I'm working on. Maybe I could just read it and then, although, or just send what I've got. Um, even if I just couldn't figure out what that typo was. Yeah, it's on the blue chair. But it's also the 15th. I just don't know what time. Well, he was fine over the holidays. I could say it accidentally capitalized, but I don't mind, less to keep up with. What was the other thing I was going to say? Um, I don't remember. So I'm just kind of. Okay. I don't know if I should say that, though. I think I'll just put it here and not say it there. Still matter, so it's a little bit awkward. We don't. Well, it's not that we don't joke with each other, but basically, I was making I said, she was saying we forgot something at her place, she'll give it to us next time we see her. And I said, and I brought some salad dressing for her that I decided I didn't want. This lime and ginger one. But I accidentally brought the wrong one. So I said, we're doing the same with the salad dressing. And then I was saying something about the tomatoes kept making jokes. You know how there's that joke, the tomatoes saw the salad dressing. But, yeah, I don't think I'm going to put that one there. Um, okay, so I'm just going to send this through, and then I can focus. Okay. There was something else I was going to say. What was it? Oh, just this. Maybe it'd be like, okay, well, I'm definitely going to say yes then because life is. I think she knew that Ray was quite young. Okay, so we got two here. I'm just getting something sent off to somebody, and then uh, we can certainly chat on the topic. Any song requests? I don't know if that's sent through. Oh, oh, oops. um, and my mother didn't understand it anyway. She's like, tomatoes making jokes, huh? Yeah, I don't know how they ever got that shelf up there. Maybe we could do it again sometime. Although G wouldn't be there, but yes, we can. Um, yeah, I had it saved as a draft. I didn't know it sent. Just one, never heard of him. Devin, if that you're one of the two that just came back, I'm thinking probably not, but if so, I may or may not still remember those two names I wanted to ask you about. um, okay, so yeah, you can see the topic idea that I have in the. You might have to expand the comment, but it's uh, showing there. Yeah, it doesn't almost. I don't know. It could be about 10 to 11, 11 to 12 bucks. It's probably only $2 off, but whatever. It's still not a bad price. And then there's combo ones, which are about $12 for two, just as they are. Um, and yeah, I used to drink McDonald's coffee all the time. So, but what I was going to say about A&W is, isn't it interesting those little deep fryer things that they give you, like little like mini deep fryer baskets, and also the frosted glasses. Um, but yeah, I'm more likely to. Uh, um, but yeah, so um, talking about jobs, talking about music, and yeah. I'm just going to quickly look at the other day's weather because I didn't really do that. I don't think it's great. I mean, it's quite sunny on Friday at this point, but and not snowy and possibly not windy, but the temperatures are pretty much the same at this point all the way through the week. But yeah, what's the wind habits? It doesn't even say the wind gusts for any days beyond the next two that I can see. not showing me a number there. I know that was a song I wanted to review. It would require watching it again. It would require a deep. It's a deep topic. I'm not too sure. Yeah, not right now. I don't think. And that was a weird one. That was showing as a suggestion to me. I could call her, try and finalize this quicker, which I'm sort of wanting to do. Kind of, like I say, see how my days looking. Um, at the 1 hour 47 mark. Um, so I'm just sending something through because I do need to run upstairs for a moment. I also need to make. Okay, there was somebody very briefly there, but they're not still here. Okay. I said at the 147 mark, but we're already a minute past that. But I better get moving and grooving. But there was other stuff said. You can see that there. This is the detail I want to nail down. It's early, but you shouldn't be up This office working until 10. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? And so work a couple hours and then do some things. Um, and then apparently today is Tuesday. Yeah, true enough. So, but Wednesday didn't work as well for her, so Thursday. Um, and I said to send her an email, but one of the things I decided to call about, so she'll see that I asked about that. We talked about it, but she might still confirm it. I mean, heck, it still kind of annoys me a little bit that she said, um, so I'll see you on Christmas. That's the 25th, as if I didn't realize it was the 25th. But, you know, say at this point in time, other than randoms or, some followers I've been getting kind of more connected with on here. Um, um, the, you know, since I've not been working or in school at the moment, uh, and I'm trying to find those extracurricular activities, that are affordable, accessible. It's been, oh, suddenly there's two of you here. Welcome. Um, it's been kind of a bit quieter in that way. So I have her to hang out with, and when I think about what my friend went through, even though she's got her mother now in heaven with her, it's like, you know, I have mine on earth with me, And I was talking to someone the other day who said she'd went 15 years where she, had a bit of a difficult relationship with her mother, and she went 15 years. I should put this in the fridge. That one's not getting it. Let's see the other one. I think it did though. Nope. But now it did. What is that? Okay, so I'm just going to put that in the fridge. Partly I want to heat it up, but I'd rather wait till I'm eating. But yeah, she went 15 years. I'm not saying no or anything, but either without seeing or talking to her mother or without doing a Christmas with her. And then did. What is this that opened? Oh, right. Yes, I know that. And she does accept that. Which is nice. I mean, he'll be at work. But still, it's nice. So, no, it's the number. So yeah, but I'm kind of craving it today too, to be quite honest. Thursday is, I guess, only a couple of days away. But the other thing is, just to quickly look at for a moment here. Oh, is that the day? It says snow throughout the day at times. I feel like I'd have to watch with the big long intros of repetitive music and their gaps to get a real good idea. But kind of cold, but it's the winter here, so. Um, but otherwise, it sounds like it's fairly sunny. Oh no, wait, that's the next day. I don't know if I want to wait. Whoops, till the end of the week. I could. I could. It's really the same temperature, it's just that it's sunny and not snowy. So I'm really thinking I might. But yeah, still gotta be very careful. Connecting too closely. Because, like I say, she can be quite nasty. She can be very difficult sometimes. Stubborn, but I do think she's mellowed out a lot. But, it was many, many years that she hadn't, and the effects that had. So today is Tuesday. Correct. Wednesday, Thursday. Then it's 3 days after or 2 days after. I mean, I don't eat this way very often. It's probably a good thing to do. I just don't know. There was another one. I'm not seeing anything about it on the front. I wonder if I should if I can find something for it. I mean, it's advertised on the front, so you could think, Maybe I'll have that this time, and and if there's no, I'll say okay. Just oh, that's really strange. But last time it did that, it was still fine. It just went back down to 2. But then, like I say, last time it did that, it still showed uh, normal afterwards. Did that a couple times the other day, and it did fine. Let me just quickly see here. Yeah, and I just reload this tab and come to it, and it's still accurate. So, but it'll make really all as long. Um, yeah, good enough. Um, it's supposed to be CBC anyway, so it's gonna have to be what it is. So I kind of want to watch that. Like I say, it's still early, but if I'm wanting to get back, before it's much into the afternoon, then. But no, there's a thing here. I guess I'll just think it to myself since there's nobody here. It sounds kind of interesting. Might be spicy, but with a beverage, I can do it. And then on the other day, I can use that and give her one. Yeah. And then I'll try and give these away because I'm less likely to go there. Should I take one more quick look to see if there's anything that I want from it? Not just for snow days, but I mean there's always snow, but I know what they mean. And that's not for coffee, that's just... Ooh, that's stuck together for some reason. Well, yeah, they don't really need this delivery thing. They don't have a delivery address. That would actually have been kind of rude. I mean, I wouldn't have noticed it, but I did, so. It's nice how you can get a chicken burger and regular burger to get, at the same time. I don't know if I would. 20 chicken, oh, that's $1 a piece. I'm almost tempted to take that one. Tempted, for old time's sake. Wait, well, chicken crackers. These don't tear very well, I must say that much. And they probably only let you use one coupon per order. And the whole point of doing that is because I really didn't want to go into that location. I wanted to kind of... No, I can use it at a different time too. Okay, so, again, I have a topic idea I put there. We can talk about that for a few minutes or so. Other than that, I mean, I would have loved to have been rolling a bit longer and had a bit more conversation, but I did at least have some. And I'm kind of distracted, to be quite honest. Um, the snow ends this morning, and the freezing drizzle. I guess 11ish isn't counted as that. And I might get back just in time before the 50 gust winds. Don't know if I need to double my socks with my extra sensitive feet. Like they're fairly comfortable right now, but they my toes feel a little bit cold. I wasn't put something in it. But then I laid it out, got them under a pillow, and they were fine. Pretty much the same tomorrow. Actually, no, it's a bit colder. I guess they kind of give the midday temperature. So I'm gonna do this for a little bit, um, very shortly, and then possibly go about my day. But yes, so last opportunity. Would really love to have a bit of a conversation for a little while. Okay, you left, so and again, I have the people that are taking the time to get familiar with me, um, and get to know me and like me. And it doesn't take very long either for some people, and it shouldn't really, because I do believe I'm pretty likable. I know I am. That are happy to chat, but the ones that just kind of flash at the top for a moment, no, not as motivating, not as interesting to me. It's not as engaging, right? But again, like I said, the people that do take the time find that we actually get along quite well with each other. So just kind of a reminder, and that's not just about me. That's in general, you know. But they're like, yeah, no, probably not. Those two said, or their phones died, or something came up for them. People could say, well, you can tell yourself whatever you want to depersonalize it, but it's true. It could be the case, and I don't know for sure. So I'd rather tell myself those things than take it personal. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah. So, and it's happened a few times in the past 5 minutes. Whether it's been the same person or not, I don't know. Whether they're trying to play games with me or not, I don't know. But I'm not a big fan of that. So, and since I don't have somebody else here I'm chatting with, and I have some other things I'd like to do around here, I think I'm going to wrap up. So, sayonara. Bye for now. Take care. Have a good day. Be kind. Respect others. Have empathy.